Hello my Poke people, and welcome to what I'm sure is going to be a legendary video, because we're going to talk about legendaries, but also I'm inferring the quality of the video. I know you're thinking, how do I come up with this? So before you all leave in absolute disgust at my pathetic attempts at humor, let's get into my 5 favorite legendaries. I'm doing it this way because I actually don't like that many legendaries. As a person, I'm not someone who enjoys the kind of faced my army of 6 world breakers and space creators. It's never really done anything for me, and I also want to say that honestly, you can really swap around the appearances on this list, apart from number 1, who definitely is number 1. So without further ado, let's start with one of the 2 Pokemon on here that's gonna make you question my manliness. Not that you needed any help questioning my manliness, but shut up, okay? Owl onesies are comfy! Don't question it. At number 5, then, we have Dmca. Dmca? I'm pretty sure it's one of the other 2. Yes, I like the pink crystal Pokemon. Do you have a problem? Well, take it up with my Poke Lawyer, who will be sure to sue you so hard you would wish that you could lock yourself away in a heavy ball. And you know what else I like? I love the Mega Revolution. I like that crystal, dressy glowiness. I think it looks neat, okay? Sometimes I like the kind of, Pokemon, and there's nothing wrong with that. I can be in tune with my Poke femininity, and don't you dare give me that look. But seriously, I just think it's a really neat Pokemon. I like its typing, I like its stats, I like its move pool, and while I said I generally don't like battling with legendaries, Dmca is very much here because she's probably, and I say she, because let's be honest, look at it. I know it's technically genderless, but look at it. Because she's generally the one legendary I enjoy battling with. The Mega on my team is a Dmca, and I kind of enjoy it. It's OU, it's not ridiculously powerful, it's kind of fun to use, and because of that, because I actually use this one, I had to put it on the list. I really did. I mean, there's not much else to say. There's very little reasoning when it comes to legendaries, because normally people just like them because they cool, and granted, we are gonna have a few of these, but still, Dmca, there you go. Now to rapidly recover some manly points and move on to number 4, which is Zygarde. So why Zygarde then? Well, firstly, I do think it looks cool. I love the color scheme, I love the design. It's a very unique looking Pokemon and very much stands out. But mainly, I love how this Pokemon works. I love the idea of the cells coming together to form a more powerful form in response to a threat to the area it's defending, and then it has this massive battle with whatever the aggressor is, and normally crushes it with overwhelming power that best even Xerneas and Yveltal. I really like how it works. I love the lore, I love the story behind Zygarde's existence. The appearances that it's had in the anime have been really cool so far, and it's definitely one of the more unique legendaries, and for that, I've always very much liked it. I don't even have one myself yet. I've not gone out and got the 50% form in Aurus, but I really need to get on that. But simply because of how unique this Pokemon is and how it works and where it fits into the world of Pokemon, I've very much taken a liking to it, and that is why Zygarde is on this list. And the fact that the core Zygarde looks like it tried to draw a second eye on its face because it was ashamed it only had one eye, and that's both really messed up and at the same time kind of adorable, so there you go. And then next up, we probably have one of the most predictable legendaries that anyone ever will put on their legendary list, because let's be honest, who doesn't like this Pokemon? It's Mewtwo, who is inherently here because it's Mewtwo. I mean, it's Mewtwo. The Pokemon we're talking about is Mewtwo. It's Mewtwo. I mean, what can I say other than it's Mewtwo? But seriously, who doesn't like Mewtwo? It's badass, it's stupid powerful, and it's basically just made from 100% awesomeness. Granted, it's also been made from horrific gene experiments, but mainly pure awesomeness. There's just something a little bit special about Mewtwo, isn't it? It has this kind of prestigious reputation that precedes it. It is a very well-known Pokemon, one of the most well-knowns, and no matter your opinion on it, you can't help just respect Mewtwo as a creation, as its own thing. There's something quite real about the fact that when Mewtwo arrives on the scene, you know that stuff's about to go down. Like, you have all these epic battles between legendaries, like for example when Kyogre, Groudon and Rayquaza go at each other, but nothing's quite as intimidating as unsettling as Mewtwo slowly hovering down and appearing on the scene, because he just has that kind of aura about him. And then he got mega powerful, well, with his megas, and they are really cool. I prefer the smaller, more psychic one to the fighting, but they are both undoubtedly a really cool pair of mega evolutions. And I mean, there's not much to say, is it? As much as I'd like a more perhaps unique choice, I cannot deny the simple, just sweet nature that is Mewtwo. I mean, it is a Pokemon legend for a reason, and I can't deny that fact. And hopefully that's my only stereotypical legendary on this list. It was very close to also put Darkrai on here, because I do love how Darkrai looks. I like Darkrai, I do, but unfortunately not, because next up, we have one that I don't think is a lot of people's favorite, but I could be wrong, but let me explain myself. It is Zekrom. Now, why Zekrom? I hear you asking at your screen. Seriously, I hear you. Check your room for cameras and microphones. Zekrom is here for very simplistic reasons, very shallow reasons, and it is simply the fact that when I looked at this Pokemon the first time, I went, oh my god, that looks that looks cool. That Pokemon has got all the right lines drawn in all the right places. I don't even care what its name is. I don't care about the lore behind it. I don't care why it exists. But the form this thing takes, the aesthetics, the black plates that it's got everywhere, the claws, the dragon, and dinosaur hybrid, the winds, the electricity generating engine tail, just everything about this Pokemon's looks to me scream epic. And it's here for just that reason. I just love how Zekrom looks. I just think it looks incredible. Arguably, I think on pure design perspective, it might be the best Pokemon in the game for me. I just think it looks ridiculous. Ironically, I don't think it looks like a Pokemon, but I do think it looks really cool. I think it belongs more Digimon-y than Pokemon-y, but I can't deny the pure badassness that emanates from Zekrom when I look at him. So that really is the only reason he's here. I don't care about anything else to do with this Pokemon. I just think it looks amazing to me, and I think I'm allowed to have one of those on this list. Finally, then, I have no shame in my number one choice, for it is Shaymin. This little adorable little grass hedgehog with the flower and the cute face, and it's just, oh, I want to hug it. I love Shaymin. I really do. Now, let me explain why. Outside the fact that it is just kawaii as hell, and again, this is probably the second legendary that I would actually use, because it's not ridiculously strong outside of Skyform. Incidentally, I really dislike Skyform. We're not even going to consider that. I hate it. But base landform Shaymin, I mean, look at that adorable little face. It's so nice. It really is. And having the power to instantly revitalize with nature an entire area is very cool. But Shaymin is here because it actually means something to me as a Pokemon. It's one of the few legendaries that do, maybe the only one, honestly, because I love this, because when I was younger, I used to live in Spain, and we had a pool, and one day we heard splashing sort of in the evening, very frantic splashing, and we were like, what the hell's going on? And we went to go check, and there was a hedgehog that had fallen in our pool and was close to drowning. So I dived in straight away, managed to get the poor thing. It was flailing around. I got spiked a little bit by it, but I didn't mind. I managed to take it out the pool, dry it off. It was like shivering, the poor little thing, and it was so weak it could barely move. It looked really hard done to. So we took this hedgehog in, we had it for weeks, we gave it a place to live, we nursed it back to health, and eventually released it back into the wild. And that was one of my first proper lovely interactions with a wild animal. It's something I'm really happy that I've done in my life, help this hedgehog out and give it a place back in its home in the wild. And ever since then, I saw Shaman for the first time, and it reminds me of that story of that feeling, because it's a cute little hedgehoggy Pokemon, and since that point, I've always loved it, and I've always wanted one. And the sad thing is I've never even had a Shaman. I've never found one. I've never been to an event that's got one. I don't even own one, and I really want a Shaman. I do. So for that multitude of reasons, it is by far and away my favorite legendary Pokemon. And yes, I'm grouping mythicals with legendaries because, of course, I know some people that separate them, which I don't get, but come on, they're all legendaries. So yeah, I hope you can understand why I'm choosing Shaman here. So there you go, guys, my favorite legendaries. Let me know what you'd like to see next. Maybe my worst, maybe my best or worst Mega Evolutions. You know, give me some suggestions, get creative, and I'm sure they will appear. But for now, my name has been Rage. Like if you've enjoyed this, subscribe for more, and let other people know about my Poke videos, because I'm just so pumped and excited to be making them. So yeah, a goodbye.